Hi and welcome everyone. DevOps is a global movement, and in nearly every major city you will find the DevOpsDays conference. On October the 4th, 2024, the global DevOps Days Organizer Summit took place, bringing together all of the organizers from the DevOps Days events all around the world. Of course, we from the DevOps Days Zurich, we were also part of it. But we didn't just attend, we contributed. We delivered a presentation titled DevOps Days Zurich. Bigger is not always better. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there in person due to another conference. But my amazing co-organizers from the DevOps Days Zurich, Nadine and Dirk, which are here in this video, absolutely rocked the stage at the summit. Now, let me quickly introduce you to them. Nadine is an agile coach at Ernie. She is passionate about building teams that work effectively and get things done. At the DevOps Days Zurich, she takes care of speakers and manages the video production. Fun fact about her is she hates balloons but loves dark chocolate. And then we have Dirk. He is one of the product owners, takes care about our sponsors and serves as our moderator at the DevOps Days Zurich. He also a DevOps expert at SAP, where he and his teams are building the internal developer platform for all SAP developers. Fun fact about him, he can cook a 3-minute soup in 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So, hey Dirk, what do you think? Should we scale DevOps Days Zurich to a massive 10,000 person event?
10,000 person. No, this would be like Wacken or something. That's most probably where you more familiar with. Actually, we tried to scale the DevOps Days Zurich, and we will narrate about this in a few seconds. And you will see why we downsized it again, and why we still have discussions on rescaling it again, like on an annual base. Like, hey, we should. Why don't we grow bigger? And this is, I think, where the whole presentation is all about. So I think I just take it away. As you already said, I'm Dirk, and I'm part of the organization of the DevOps Days Zurich since 2018. I was a speaker in the very first ones, which was 2017, and this is where I'll start my little tour of the histories of the DevOps Days Zurich. So it was mainly triggered by some DevOps meetup group folks that said, hey, let's also do a DevOps Days in Switzerland. And they want to center it around Zurich, but they found out, the venues in Zurich, downtown Zurich, are quite expensive. And if you start like a community event, maybe the idea was, let's go a little bit outside where the venues are a bit more affordable. And so the venue that they found was the Alte Kaserne in Winterthur, which is a city like 20 minutes by train away from Zurich. And it was perfectly fitting the event. If you do DevOps Days, you not only need a big room where you squeeze in all the people, but you need a lot of like breakout rooms, small rooms where at the afternoon you can have off conferencing formats of like the open spaces, which most DevOps Days do. So it has the right price, it has the right fitting. It was perfectly from the setup. So this is where like 12 organizers plus 4 supporters, and 4 supporters is like people that helped like on registration desk for first day when dozens of people come in and they all want to validate their ticket, get off their jackets, and maybe get some swag bags, and that's kind of like a stress situation with every conference when like things start. But this is where like supporters came in and they rocked the thing. Like 200, it was around 200 attendees, and the show floor of the venue is around 250 300 square meters, and the capacity basically it could host 250 people. 18 sponsors, which was quite a success. So so they set up another DevOps Days 2018, still 12 organizers, 4 supporters, and it was the first time it was sold out, right? So it was really 250, the maximum size that the venue still can handle. And because of that, the organizer said, okay, like seems there is like a need for having such a conference in the Swiss and larger Swiss area, so to say. And so they wanted to scale. And that's how they reached out to other people like Romano and also myself, whether we could support them, because with 12 organizers and 4 on-site supporters, if you need to crew, you also need to crew like the organizers and the supporters. And now I want you to have a look at the picture on the top left of that slide, because this is always where you see like the organizers, people, like if I go back, like, look, this is overseeable, still overseeable crew. And now look what happened with 2019. Boom! It's not only that now it was over 500 attendees. It was also the organizer crew a lot, because they changed the venue. As I said, the Alte Kaserne in Winterthur is a very nice location, but it's like limited to 250. And we went to the Umweltarena in Spreitenbach, also city close to other side of Zürich, so to say. And we booked it for 600 people. Actually, it could host a lot more people. It was one huge room, which has the advantage of like, hey, you can scale whatever, how many tickets you sell, so to say, and how many sponsor booths you need to sell. But it's no from the acoustics and so on. It's not really like the best situation that you could have. But it worked out quite well. It was perceived a very well success. But again, look at the numbers of the core team members. It's now 16, and the on-site supporters, I think it was 2 before, and now it's 19. And this is really hard to find those folks, right? This is really friends and family. So people that neither had to do anything with like organizing conferences, nor people that had to do much things with DevOps, but you need people to, guide folks, saying, look, this is where food and drink is. This is how you get your ticket. Guide them from the train station, because the Umweltarena is a little bit, you need to know where to go. So people guiding folks outside the arena. So 2019 was a great experience, but it was clear for all the organizers this was stress too, right? It was really stress because not only a new venue means you need to re-elevate Wi-Fi, how does lunch catering, all that works, but it's like really simply the size causes you really need to have to find a lot of people. You have to instruct them to support the supporters, so making sure that everything runs flawlessly. And then we said, okay, let's go back to Zurich. Let's maybe revisit some venues and see whether we can find another venue. But then the big C came, the COVID struck, and 2020. But before we could, revisit some venues and think about scaling the DevOps days, do we go back to Winterthur or somewhere downtown Zurich? It was, we cannot do anything because it's now online because of the COVID situation. So what we said, and there were a lot of online conferences popping up, we said, okay, let's just organize rather than one conference on 1 or 2 days, where it's often hard for people like online to attend the whole day or 2 days. Let's do every Tuesday in September, which there were 5 Tuesdays, I think, in September 2020. Let's say all the Tuesdays, let's do some online sessions where we do fireside chat with prominent faces in the DevOps industry, talkers experienced or fresh talkers who give like one presentation and then have some discussion with them. And that is actually, though it's only online, and online was kind of new to everyone, this causes a lot of things you need to prepare as an organizer committee. Like, do you have the right microphone? Is the light perfect? What do you have as a background? Are the speakers on time, in place? What happens if some connection, Wi-Fi connection breaks? Where's there? And so there's a lot of organization, and then you get a lot of registrations, but it turns out that though you get a lot of registrations, only a few people show up. So you can cater like the whole world, so to say, but if it's free, it's easy to register, but then not so many people showed up. And on average, this was kind of a disappointing experience. And we said, besides that it's work and only a few people join the thing, we said what we miss is the spirit of the DevOps days, like this contact. DevOps days all over the world live a lot about open spaces of connecting people that didn't know each other and getting into the talk, getting into the community and making sure everyone is like welcome and engaged and feels welcome in the community. And that simply does not work online. So we said, okay, we will pause DevOps Days Zürich until we can do it again. And luckily, the situation in Switzerland got better already early 2021, and it was overseeable that, hey, late 2021, we could go for something with some precautions, like attendees need to be vaccinated and tested, and we had to check that. So again, you need more supporters on site, right? It's not only validating the ticket, you need to scan vaccinations and stuff. But we could do it, and we said, okay, if there's a chance that we could do this, we want to do this. And we were, I think, like the first or the second DevOps Days worldwide who, like, after the peak of the COVID situation, at least in most countries, we started DevOps Days Zurich 2021. And because of like how many people, we were clear we have to go back to the Alte Kaserne. This is some venue that we know how things work. And in this situation where we are, it's the more we know about how things work, the better it is, because with the whole COVID, we have enough uncertainties. So this is how it worked. And still we were sold out. And this was, so from my talks that I had and everything that I heard, was like, really, we're not the only one who had that feeling. Like, people love the DevOps days because to get in contact with the community. And this was definitely what the people were missing in like online formats, or like really exchanging with folks. And it worked quite well. And we never heard about that we spread the virus anywhere. So it seems like our precautions really worked out well. So knocking on wood here. 2022, we came back, we were sold out again, 250 people, and we were sold out 2 weeks in advance. This was kind of new. Like all the years before, we were sold out, but you could like get 2-3 weeks before the event started, you could get tickets. So there was no problem in getting tickets. Now, 2 weeks in advance, we got a lot of people saying, hey, why is there no tickets? Well, sold out, we're sorry. And this somehow became a trend. So this is 2023. We were sold out now 7 weeks in advance, because most probably people recognized, well, 2 weeks in advance, not enough. You have to go early. And then, this is like a self-fulfilling process that you get into, because this year, 2024, we got sold out on tickets already 9 weeks in advance. And so we could sell obviously way more tickets, because we also had a waiting list, and even the waiting list was like 100 and something people. And this was only the people who really said, hey, I won't put me on the waiting list, whatever the odds are. And so again, like all the last years already, again and again, we were discussing within the organizers community, we should scale. We can definitely, bring in the whole community, and like everyone who wants to be there, get into. And so the question came up over the last years: the universe expands, why don't we? And this is the thing where Nadine will tell you now why we think it's not the best idea to scale, at least for us.
Thank you very much, Dirk and the universe, for the question. It is actually a very important question. Let's recap what we know. To tackle the question, let's start with the things of the conference. And as you can see on the pictures we bring, that we can maybe see on the next slide. So the venue of the Alte Kaserne looks like this. You see quite a few impressions. So we have multiple floors, we have one main entrance, and here on the picture on the left, you can see what our bottleneck actually really is. It's a location. For us, the question of scaling is the location. The Alte Kaserne cannot scale. There is just one main room. You can see it on the picture on the left. And for example, also lunch prep as well as the seating situation, it just reaches the limits with around 300 people, where we still need to take care of secure ways in case of a fire or another emergency. So there are a few limitations we have. Number one is the lunch. Yes, we know what you might think, we did as well. But food is important, and we don't want to skip that from our conference experience. Also, adding to the limiting factor is the space provided to sponsors and their booth. You can see some of the main sponsors on the left picture at the very, very back of the room where the lights are shining. So yes, we could approximately sell much more, around twice, on-site sponsoring packages if we would have space to provide to the sponsors. And last but not least, we also have not enough space for basically everything, from t-shirt distribution to phone call zones, not to mention any staff or rehearsal rooms. As easy as you can think, the entry that you can see in the middle picture gets pretty crowded if approximately 150 people want to get to the conference on Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. However, there are some very, very good sides of the Kaserne. These are the main reasons we actually stayed. We brought you a floor plan so that you can see what we're talking about here. And you see we're operating on 3 floors. So there's the first floor, second floor, and the third floor. We do have a basement with a bit of a wardrobe and the main stage, which is on the ground floor. And the main reason, the very, very main reason is the price. The price is actually very good to rent the Kaserne for 2 days and the preparation day. We're still talking about Zurich here, right? So the venue is owned by the city of Winterthur, a city next to Zurich, and they are a trustful partner, and we know what we can count on them and their support. So, and the second big advantage, as you can see on the floor plan, is the number of rooms for open spaces and workshops. It's just ideal. The Kaserne has multiple rooms and on multiple floors, which makes it easy for participants to move around and also for our workshop providers to get exactly what you want. From concert seating to 3 extension cable per table, whatever you request, the Kaserne gets it right. We invested in the Kaserne, which is actually our third point to stay at the Kaserne. For example, the Wi-Fi repeaters and the video connectors, which we kind of donated to the venue so they can use it throughout the year. And when we are back, we can use it and have a pitch perfect setup for our audio and the video recordings. And not to be neglected, I mentioned it in the very beginning, Kaserne also cooks the food and they take care of us, the organizers. If the tech team misses lunch because they do tech rehearsal, there's always something left at 3 p.m. and it's warm still to feed organizers. So on that point in time, kudos to the Kaserne for being this trustful partner to us over the years. So, facts distributed. Now we wanted to really know it and get over this gut feeling that Dirk was mentioning, should we scale or not? What we did a retrospective the last year and we came to conclusion we need to tackle this really intensively. And as we are DevOps people, and DevOps is not only bridging the gap between tech tooling and real-world problems, but actually solving real-world problems, we did a trade-off analysis using the architectural trade-off method. What we did, we identified the options, we identified criteria, and 2 of us took the challenge with 2 pizzas and 1 night, and we came up with our answers. For that, we used the analysis scheme that you can see on the slide right now, as simple as that, reaching from -2 to the +2, even giving us the neutral option if we could not. When we took a decision, and we brought you the results on the next slide. You don't actually need to read it, just for you that you have an idea what the quantitative numbers look like. So you can see here to the right, we see the options. There are quite a few. from downscale, choose a new location, or go back to the bigger location that we had, go into live streaming from the event, go hybrid, change the food concept, which is our main bottleneck, or just host a conference twice. Why not? Maybe spring and autumn. Or we could scale out, saying we use Bern and Zurich, or Basel, or any other nice location in Switzerland. And in the lines, you can see the criteria we used. A few of them are marked in pretty pink. These are the criteria that we used to double the factors and to do a weighted analysis. Whatever we did, how much we changed, and even once we challenged our results with our dearest PO, it's simple as that. The criteria didn't lie. We thought of all the options that we could, and that didn't put us at a higher risk that we actually already had. And here we are today with a gut feeling, the trade-off analysis saying us the very, very same. Don't fail. For us, this was a true finding. So now we have quantitative numbers and also a qualitative reasoning. Community comes first. For us, as organizers of the DevOps Days Zurich, we have a vision, which we copied onto the slide for you. We love and care the vision, so let me read it out for you. For the English understanding DevOps community, around 200 kilometers around Zurich, who wants to learn and network and share, the DevOps Days Zurich is a 2-day on-site single-track conference that has top topics, networking opportunities, like-minded people, and it's inspiring, motivating, intense, and holistic. Unlike commercial conferences, our conference has heart and soul. It's affordable, based. We bring that to life through our mission, and we do believe in that, and that community comes first to solve our vision and mission. We don't scale. But we actually do something about the issues, of course. Things we do to mitigate. So we try to look into selling day passes. So some people can only come or want to come for 1 day, and we could serve a bigger audience, a bigger community, if we look into that fact. And also, what didn't work in 2024 is selling early bird tickets. So maybe we need to find a solution for that too. And we need to push the conference to be sold out way too early, which we want to ignore. We want to overcome in the next edition. Saying that, better adopting the overselling, we are still figuring this out. And if you have a solution for us, in conclusion, we say bigger is not always better. Thank you from your organizer team from Zurich, Switzerland.
Very
Back
good.
to you, Romano.
Thank you very much. This is absolutely awesome. Thanks for this awesome presentation. But of course, there are also some questions that remain. And of course, obviously, everyone loves the conference, our DevOps Days Zurich. And big congratulations to the organizer team about that. But how is the feedback different from the sponsors and speakers and participants? Perhaps, Dirk, do you want to answer that?
It does not differ too much, honestly. We have what is a survey? I was missing the word. We have a survey that we do among all of them. So like the sponsors, the speakers, as well as the participants, and the experiences are quite positive on all sides. For sure, like a sponsor sometimes has some other feedback on what worked or what could be improved than a speaker. But in general, and we see this also in the numbers that of calls for papers. So when we do our call for papers, how many people propose or suggest to give an Ignite talk, a talk or a workshop at our conference. We have, I think this was the second or third consecutive year where we broke the records, and it really takes us, in the meantime, I don't have the number at hand, but it's really hours that we dozens of hours that we as a joint team in the meantime need to evaluate all those great talks and really digest the 10 or whatever that is best talks and the best 6 workshops or 8 workshops and the best whatever 10-ish ignites out of that. So already that seems that it resonates with the speakers. We see it the same at the sponsors. We are in the very lucky situation that, knocking on wood, that we don't need to fight so much for sponsors as a lot of other of our siblings around the world. Conferences have issues in getting the conference finance on the right side, which is we are all doing this as a voluntary work. We are all volunteers who organize the conference, so we have to be financially safe. And this was for Zurich, at least in the last years, basically like since a couple of years, we were always relying or could rely on sponsors who jumped in also very early. In the meantime, we even have to see or have to have the means how we distribute sponsor packages. And we see also on the participant side, as I outlined, records in like how many people or how many weeks we already are sold out in advance. So there are so many people who want to join us. And as Nadine outlined, we really see the point and we try to mitigate that. I mean, at the end, for all who wants to participate, I mean, it's easy. Just buy your ticket early, right? Don't wait like, okay, a week before, a month before I get a ticket. Most probably you won't. But as soon as we announce the ticket sale, just buy the ticket, and it's pretty likely that this will work out. It's just the later you wait, the more unlikely is, or the more likely is it that you will join the waiting list to get a ticket. So this is the quantitative and also the qualitative measures that we do to get the feedback.
But Dirk, this is absolutely awesome. Now we could increase the ticket prices and the sponsoring prices and make shitloads of money.
Yeah, I like the way you think, but this is not the way we are thinking as DevOps Days organizers, right? It's the idea of DevOps Days to be a community conference and not to make money with that. This is the reason why we have ticket price at still stable. I think we haven't raised them since the beginning, so it's 250 francs, which is like $250 roughly, I would say. You could mostly match it. And this is quite affordable, I would say. It's a 2-day conference. What you get the lunch, you get an evening event, which is like all you can drink, all you can eat. You get workshops on day 1, you get workshops on day 2, you get fantastic international top speakers. You get this fantastic community, you get drinks in the break. So, and this all for 250 Swiss francs. So, sure, we could get more money, but then is the question what to do with that, right? If we do have some money to spare, and luckily we always had a little, not so much, but a little money to spare from all the conferences, what we do with that is we give it away to other voluntary organizations in the IT industry that support refugees, bringing refugee into the IT industry, or bringing children, or especially girls, in contact with IT. So, it doesn't remain, as it still unfortunately is, such a male-dominated industry, but, all the underrepresented groups we try to bring with those donations into the IT industry, which is a thing that is, I think, close to all of our hearts. So we are not doing this for the money. This is what we are doing on our day jobs. This is where we earn the money, and this is we do because it's fun for the kicks.
It's just so awesome conference, and we have such an amazing team. But Nadine, is the core team always staying the same?
Yes and no. We're pretty stable for the last at least 3 years now. For example, Dirk is still serving as our product owner, and we have our powerful Scrum Master duo keeping us on track. So this definitely helps to make the team stable, but we do have new joiners bringing fresh ideas and new lights, new topics to the conference and the core team, which is actually awesome. So also we learn organizing in a different way. What we do have is we have a buddy concept. So every new joiner has someone to go to have a helping hand and not getting lost in the trouble, finding the tools, and so that we can live to the mission and to the vision pretty easily, that we have this kind of shared understanding why we do things and how we do things. So also every core member has a duty. We have clear responsibilities and we shift and twist them, not that much, but kind. So we have also the possibility to jump onto a new role and learn along the way, having a deputy helping us out or someone giving us a helping hand when we start into a new role, which was exactly for me the same when I took up the speaker's responsibility. I had no idea how to handle that. And that's what the great thing about the DevOps community. You learn along the way and you always find someone who teaches you how to do it or gives you feedback. And this is a brilliant thing about this community.
Amazing. It's really, it sounds like the DevOps Day core team is very well organized. How early do we start planning, Nadine?
Yeah, we're Swiss to the bone, right? We are organized, but this actually also serves our community. The majority of the participants are Swiss. They arrive by train, they arrive on time, they want their lunch at 12 o'clock latest. So we do know our audience pretty well. And this also is true for our core team. We like to know when to plan and how to schedule kids and friends and families and sports duties. So for 2024, the conference that was in April, we started planning after the summer break. And also now for the 2025 edition, which will be 1 month earlier in March already, we started after the summer holiday, which is in Switzerland around end of October, September-ish. So we get together in a casual online meeting for the first time. We exchange summer holiday experiences. We get our boards ready, and then we actually start with a first core team workshop where we define milestones, we define key dates, we figure out when which part of Switzerland is being on holidays and what we can expect from every team member, and also, which is a big part of us, we start defining responsibilities and duties so everyone can start making their own plan, taking decisions by themselves, that we can work independently in our roles, in our responsibilities, and still have an open eye and ear if someone else needs support, and that we can jump in. Which is great that we actually can confirm, thanks to the location, we can confirm our location normally before the conference ends. So the announcement of the date of 2025 was made by Dirk during the conference of 2024, which gives us stability and kind of a planning horizon.
Nowadays, sustainability and diversity are huge topics. How do we deal with these two big topics at the DevOps Days, Nadine?
It is, as Dirk already mentioned, it's a big part for us, and we want to do our part to make it a better place and to have an inclusive community. What we do is we have partnerships. So we partner with, for example, Be Like Grace or Power Coders. During the year, we foster collaboration and friendship among participants at DevOps meetups. For us, this is mostly Zurich and Bern, so the German-speaking or English-speaking areas. And some frequent participants, they bring along 1 or 2 friends, and it makes it easier if you've seen people before and meet each other. Also, we look for an inclusive language, for example. We have diversity and sustainability concepts reviewed by experts and by us. We take in feedback from our participants, from sponsors, from partners. And we try also to convince our community to support us in this. We always ask our speakers and the attendees to travel sustainably, to arrive by train, which is super easy in Switzerland, actually. And we also serve vegan food, a vegan meal on both conference days. And we want people to like this bunch of nice people and to be part of it themselves, which helps a great deal to live to the vision.
The DevOps Days Zurich is an absolutely outstanding conference, as you can see. Thank you very much, Nadine and Dirk, for this absolutely awesome presentation and for stepping in to do this presentation. And to all of you, I hope I can see you, or we as the DevOps community can see you in Zurich in March 12 and 13 when the next DevOps Days Zurich will happen in 2022. And with that, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.